How's it going, Pika fans? My name is Large, and I am here with Gargleflop, coach of the Berkhamsted Bastiodons.
Yeah, hello.
So, if you are if you're excited for today's interview with someone of the European places.
Oh, I'm all foreign and exotic. Whoa.
Ooh. Make sure that you leave a like, as it is very much appreciated. But with that, Gargleflop, what is your experience as a competitive player in Pokemon?
I've been playing since like nearly the end of 4th gen, I think is when I started.
Wow, that's a long time.
I have been going for quite a while. I've been losing a bit of steam on it. But I've basically played for pretty much all of Black and White. It's just, my general experiences of it when I first started doing YouTube as well was that I just wanted to make really stupid stuff, and I used it. So that has always sort of been my thing. I've kind of moved away from that after a while, just because it gets more and more difficult to come up with dumb stuff that works. Mm-hmm. So I moved to more towards standard a bit more now, but I still try and use some dumb things, as I'm sure we'll get to when we discuss my picks.
Yeah, of course.
It's gonna be fun.
I can't keep a straight face when I'm looking at your draft. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. I've got such a bone to pick with the power rankings as well. I really do.
And your league experience, I believe that's halfway through the MBL and then the Pika?
Yeah, I've done a couple of league drafts like this before, but not quite on this scale. So I was a bit new to it. I never quite understood the rules, as you saw when I drafted as well. I made a bit of an idiot out of myself at the end of it. With the last 2 picks.
Yeah.
But, I didn't quite get it, but I popped in halfway. Was it halfway through or 2/3 of the way through the MBL, and I had a team that was given to me from someone else. Quite a good team, mind you.
Yeah, indeed.
It wasn't too bad, but I tried to make it work. I think I only won 2 of my 5 or 6. Something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around that, I believe. I can't remember because the MBL is irrelevant anyway. But
right.
And then I'm gonna ask you some questions about the opponents. Who do you fear the most out of the now 9 people you still have to face? Because you won against that one faggot, and I love you for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You won against Socrates, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then you lost to Robotnik.
One of the things that always really got me, especially in the power rank as well, and it's something I really want to pick up on, is they said that Socrates was #1, and I look at his team and he has good stuff. Like, Manaphy is really threatening. Excadrill had powered on for the
yeah, that combination. It's hard to prepare against.
Yeah, but I looked at it, I'm thinking, there's a lot worse in here. There really is. My next opponent, the Detroit Pincers, has got, what is it, Heatran, Mamoswine. That's gonna be horrible.
That's awful, because he just won, like, his 2-week battle, the 2 first battles. He won those pretty convincingly. So I'm pretty sure Parahax is a person to look out for when it comes to, like, the most scary people to face. I'm kind of afraid of him, too.
Again, he's got Slowbro, Entei, and I had such a problem dealing with Robotic Star Manitan, and I had to fucking chip that away with Flare Blitz Recoil. I can't do that with Entei if it's CB.
Nope.
What exactly do I do to that? Crawdon, he's a huge threat. Wheezing, I can't just be lazy and Toxic Stall, so I'd probably say he's up there, and I've got to face him next, so that's going to be horrible.
And
I'd say the Toronto Tyrantrums as well. The partnership, getting Magnezone. I agree with the power rankings on that. Getting Magnezone, especially when he has Ferrothorn as well, was huge.
Yeah.
That was a great pick for him. And Lando T is always scary no matter what you do.
Because you never know what you face. Like,
yeah, exactly.
with
Lando can just do everything.
Yeah, is it Scarf? Is it like SD? Is it just defensive with rocks? Is it AV? Those are just like the few spreads the few sets I saw.
Yeah.
And my not so like my experience is not that like, how do you say that? God damn it, English, Nick,
English helps. Come on, man, use your words. You can do it.
I don't have as much experience as you do, but those were a few sets that I saw in my experience in the OU ladder.
Right.
And even though I don't ladder that much in OU because there are too many 50-50s for my liking. But then the person you fear the least?
Oh.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna be offended, but
oh no, I wouldn't say that. I'm trying to think. There's not really any one thing. Like, I know it sounds, oh yeah, let's be nice to everyone, but there's not any one team that I look at and think, yeah, I can beat that. I'm well in on that one. If I had to make a vague, actually no, not even Chelsea Shandies. Yeah, no, I honestly couldn't tell you. I look at an awful lot of it. Like all the picks were really good. And there was so much good stuff left over. I mean, that's that's kind of what's remarkable about Robotnik's team. I mean, all right, you can call the Smeagol into question. It's a bit, yeah, but the rest of it is pretty good.
It's pretty good. He even got because he drafted, he missed the draft, so he had to pick from like leftover things, and he picked Conkeldurr.
Yeah,
and Conkeldurr is actually OUA, but counted as his OUB mon, and we just gave it to him.
Well, it was all of a bit up in the air on that one, because someone changed it, he picked it when it was OUB, and it's like, well, it would be pretty lame to just, say, yeah, you can't have that. So, he's actually got, he lucked out pretty well, he did pretty good, and there's still some really good stuff left over.
Yeah, Clefable, Megalopony I've seen. Yeah, everything, there are very good mons left, and I'm definitely looking forward to the first trade window, because,
I have some things in mind, probably not what you think. I know you think, I'm just gonna get rid of all of his NUs. I'm like, no.
no, because the NUs you've picked are very good, in my opinion.
Some people seem to think they're not. I don't know.
I love Bastiodon. I love Bastiodon, dude. Bastiodon is a monster. In PU, but he's still a monster.
I don't know what you're talking about. In any tier, he's fine.
He's fine?
He's fine.
Okay, so that was the best segue ever into your draft picks. So, Gargleflop here picked Terrakion, Crobat, Heliolisk, Zapdos, Bastiodon, the Lord, Seismitoad, Skuntank, Mega Gallade, Hoopa Unbound, Feraligatr, and Meloetta, in that order.
So where would you like to start? What's jumping out at you?
I could be a dick and talk about how can you pick Terrakion? That's such a bad Pokemon. But no, I'm not. I'm also joking. But why did you pick Bastiodon?
I picked Bastiodon. As you've seen, I have Crobat and Zapdos. By the way, Zapdos going 4th round, that's mental.
Yeah.
I told Socrates this as well, like, really, no one picked him. There's some good stuff in the first 3 rounds, but Zapdos being that late, nah. I reject that. I don't understand. I picked it up because I saw it was like, go on then. But Bastiodon, I know he's got 2 4x weaknesses, but the 4x weaknesses are so hilariously easy to cover. And this is something that, it's the same thing with Probo Pass. Alright? It's not that to deal with. And, you play it right. You don't use him as a wall. He is not a wall. You can't switch him on anything and he'll sponge it. Because, yeah, again, 4x weaknesses. Although he has survived, Expert Belt Hydreigons, he can take a Super Power.
Wow.
Easily, quite frankly. So, he can do a lot. But it's just, you don't use him as a traditional wall, you use him as cover. So Crobat and Zapdos are perfectly, viable walls, and they all have their own weaknesses. But Bastiodon is a sponge. And because I run him, I always will run him, unless I'm feeling very weird, with Stealth Rock, Toxic Protect, and Roar. because he's probably one of the best Toxic Stallers in the game, as far as I'm concerned. And it's a bold claim, but that's the way I look at him. He is just something you set up Stealth Rocks with, and you just bring it when you can't deal with something. You bring him in, and he does his stuff.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That is a very fair explanation. And now that I look at it, Crobat and Zapdos cover Bastiodon's weaknesses like perfectly, because you go for a fighting move, and you go for a fighting move on the Bastiodon, switching Crobat eats it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you Crobat doesn't like Zapdos can take water hits. Ground hits can be well, they can be absorbed or they can be negated by Crobat and Zapdos. So that's a very good pick. Now that I've heard your explanation behind it,
it's still
I like it.
It's still not concrete, and I understand why people are like, "What the fuck? What are you doing picking Bastiodon that early?" It's it fit into the team and the plan I wanted to. It goes into the core. Again, it's not a wall. It's just a sponge. Because there are certain things that Zapdos and Crobat will not handle, and Bastiodon handles 90% of it. The only problem I have with my draft is there's an overall ground weakness in Terrakion, Heliolisk, Bastiodon, Skuntank. Now, the last two picks, which I have pointed out
for Alligator and Meloetta.
Yeah, Meloetta. They were kind of panic picks, because as I didn't quite understand the rules. I was a bit of a lazy sod, didn't look at the picker rulebook. And my last two picks, I really wanted to, and I was building it up really hard, because I was looking along the list for the last two draft picks for everyone. And Gengar and Licky Licky were not taken. Now,
you wanted the Lord? Licky Licky's a monster.
Yeah, I really, really, really wanted Licky Licky and Gengar. Because Gengar gives me another ground resist unless, you get into Mold Breaker, but that's its own separate thing. And Licky Licky can provide Wish Passes, which helps Bastiodon, it helps Zapdos, Crobat, Heliolisk for sponging water and, Rotom Washes, for example, Seismitoad. In fact, it would benefit my team hugely, and that is probably one of the things that I might try and get if I could finagle my team right. But, yeah, so, like I say, I didn't get that, and then my basic plan when I was drafting, and the reason I drafted most of my own use early was because I figured if I just let people fight and spat over all the really good stuff, then there should still be enough good stuff left over for me to pick from. However, UU and BL were a bit the tiers aren't quite as expansive as you'd like, so a lot of UUs and BLs win. And like I say, you just have a look at it, and it's like, okay, what have I got in BL? Barely anything. All right, Gator's good. I'll have Gator. And Meloetta was RU, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Meloetta's the RU pick. Meloetta is really good, but it's situational.
Yeah, and
it's a good ghost resist, which it could be paired up with Mega Gallade.
Yeah, exactly.
Really easily.
So Meloetta, I'm more happy with, because it does still fit into my team, just not quite the way I wanted it to. But for Alligator was there purely as a panic pick. I wanted something with power in priority, and it was there. It doesn't the reason I haven't used it at all, I think, so far, is it just doesn't really fit. There's nothing to.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of the problem with it. It's just it doesn't work. I can make it work, but I'd have to try really hard. I'd have to partner up Seismitoad and Crobat, and then there's two grass weaknesses, so that's kind of my problem with it.
I have the same thing with Mega Obamas now.
Yeah, but Mega Obamas got 9 weaknesses.
Yeah. I need to reconsider that pick. That was
It's good. It's really, really, really good. I do love Mega Obamas to bits, and I don't think anyone can really take it away from it, but you have to build specifically for it.
Yeah.
It's a very niche sort of thing. When you get it working, it works wonders, but looking at your team, you could probably get it working, but you are going to have to run a certain combination of things, and it's the only way you're going to be able to use it. And then Hail beats up everything apart from, was that Weavile and Overcoat 3. So there's that.
Indeed. And then a lot of people criticized on on the Heliolisk pick, and then right after that you picked Zapdos. And that's where a lot of people criticized you for, because they were like, hey, he already has 2 fast electric types.
Well, there's one thing that Helios gets over Zapdos, and that's Dry Skin.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Yeah, end of story. That's why I picked it. Dry Skin means that...
Dry Skin, because it batches up some weaknesses, like Terrakion, Bastiodon.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's probably the same reason that you picked Seismitoad for?
Yeah, and Seismitoad can also set up Stealth Rocks. It's an alternative to Bastiodon. I kind of needed a fire resist in there, because apart from Terrakion, like, that was it. And Gator as well was kind of, or sort of picked for that reason, as well as its power. So that's sort of why that was there. But like I said, Heliolisk is A, fast, B, a really varied move pool, which you don't really get on a lot of electric types. And see, like I say, it just absorbs water. It's a perfect switch-in for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you beat Socrates too.
Yeah, pretty much. And
to be fair, because he didn't prepare for the Heliolisk.
Yeah, so that's pretty much why that's there.
And then, after you pick Seismitoad and Skuntank, we see these two behemoths of Pokemon. We see Mega Gallade and Hoopa Unbound, which are, yet again, two physical attackers. And in my honest opinion, Hoopa Unbound sucks because it's too slow, and you just U-turn with a fast Mon on it, and it dies. But can you change my mind about that?
Well, Hoopa Unbound, the main reason that I picked it was I believe it was, it was Mariner. It was like, oh no, Hoopa Unbound, it's crap. And I'm like, bollocks, is it? It's great. It has like 160, 170 attack? How can that physically be bad?
Physically.
It gets, 100 base power, physical, dark move that can't miss. The only problem is it lowers your defense, but if you hang around long enough for that to be a problem, then you're crap. Base 80 speed, yeah, it's missing a bit, but I think it's perfectly reasonable. And it also gets, base 130 special defense, a ballistic move pool, pretty decent typing. The only main, problem with that is that I believe, apart from Psychic, it has no resist. But you slap an AV on that, it's perfectly fast enough. It's just a big wall breaker. You can switch in on most things and just nuke them. Where is the problem there?
I don't see it anymore now. I did see it before.
Skype's chipping out.
It is. My internet is so bad here.
You can do it, Skype. Come back to us.
Are we good now?
I can't even hear you right now.
Ah, shit.
What is wrong?
Hello?
There you go.
Ah, there we are.
Right. Continue.
No, my internet in my room is just so bad, and I can't go sit downstairs because there's a lot of shit going on downstairs, and yeah, I live in a big household. And,
that's fair enough.
Now I'm gonna talk about the presence of mostly physical attackers.
Yeah.
Actually, because the only special attackers I see are Heliolisk, Zapdos, Meloetta, and Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa Unbound can be used as a special attacker, but you kinda sorta wanna run it physical.
You can do mixed, it can do special. It's certainly not as good special.
You can certainly do mixed, that's true.
Yeah, well, again, my main plan was to have the Gengar instead of the Gator, so that kind of would have negated that one. It screwed me up. That really did. I let myself down there. I really should have just looked at the rulebook for 5 minutes. But there you go. I will admit there is quite a physical bias in there, but it is a bit tricky to explain. I couldn't sort of say outright this is why I picked a mostly physical attacking lineup, because I would kind of say it didn't really factor into my plan, if you like. I know it's good to have a good physical and special blend of dudes, but it isn't entirely necessary in my opinion. And again, the special dudes that I picked, like Heliolisk is more of an annoyance than an all-out special attacker. He can do damage and pile it up, but he's more there to just absorb water and just volt switch out, and then I can go into something else. And the physical attackers that I picked are so strong. Like, again,
yeah, they're very strong.
Can just wall break damn near anything.
Mega Gallade is a monster as well. If you set up an SD or a Dragon Dance with Feraligatr, it's basically over. And Terrakion's a very good Scarfer. You could also run a Lum SD or something like that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The physical, the attackers you chose are so strong that special attackers are not as needed. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like I say, Banded Crobat as well is a very, very, very underrated physical attacker. Believe me, I love the thing now.
I forgot about Bandit Crobat.
Yeah.
It's a long time since I've used that thing.
I never used to like Crobat, and then I tried it, and I was like, this is the tits. This is brilliant. Zapdos is still really powerful special attacking threat. As I said before, Hooper can do it. Meloetta's got quite a lot of special power, but I think the other main problem I have with my team is that it's very wally, and it's something that I tried to avoid with the Gallade and the Hooper picks. But Crobat and Zapdos, Bastiodons, Seismitoad, and Skuntank to a degree are just very, they just sit there and do nothing kind of stuff. So that's kind of the only area where I'm a bit disappointed, and it's been a problem I have with Bastiodon, because you need to cover it. Yeah, it's a great sponge, but you need to cover it in certain ways to make it functional. So I might have devoted a bit too much time to that. And Skuntank let me down against Robotnik, so I'm seriously debating his place in the grand scheme of things.
Well, if you drop him, you can pick another UU or BL.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you still have 60 points left, so that's a thing you could do.
Yeah.
And, let me see. You can drop Terrakion. No, that's your only OUB.
Yeah, exactly.
You could drop it for Gengar, I was about to say, but then again, nah, can't do that because of rules.
Unless I swapped out Hooper or Gator, yeah, I'd have to. The main problem that I've done is because of my balls up. I've kind of put myself in a corner where Gator or Meloetta kind of has to go, but then I've got to swap something else out for a BL or a RU. So I'm sort of in that pickle, and it's going to be interesting to see if I can finagle my way out of that. But
yeah, most certainly. And I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
And this will conclude the interview with Gargleflop, coach of the Words! English!
Yes.
This man has been drinking, and I'm the one who can't find out words.
Shameful.
I know, right? But this has been the interview with Gargleflop, coach of the Berkhamsted Bastiodons.
Hey!
If you enjoyed, make sure that you leave a like, as it is very much appreciated. And if you want to see more Pika if you want to see more Pika related content, make sure that you subscribe. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get the hell out of here. I've been BXL, and I hope you guys have a most wonderful day.
Bye.